Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. We're talking about tech fashion and everything that it brings and what's coming to Trinidad and Tobago soon. Joining us is Akila James, who is the CEO and founder of the Boss Movement and definitely has a lot to share. Good morning, Akila, and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
It's wonderful to have you, especially with something that is so exciting. But before we get into the event, let's talk about fashion tech. What is it?
Well, fashion tech in this particular instance, we're talking about 3D printed fashion, we're talking about augmented reality, we're talking about virtual reality, and we're also talking about putting fashion in games itself.
Oh, interesting. Now, you are the founder of the Boss Movement.
Yes.
How does this incorporate fashion and technology?
So Boss Movement ourselves, we are taking the fashion technologies into fashion so that we can have people have larger engagement within their fashion brands using the technologies that we have offering.
Excellent. Now, as you mentioned that, of course, and you've explained to us what fashion tech is, I know you have something to share with us this morning.
Yes, I do actually have a 3D printed backpack, almost like a carnival backpack.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wanted to show you everyone that it's something that you can actually, we created it for a carnival band, and instead of actually having to do it with your hands, 3D printed printers will print it, and then all you have to do is put it together yourself. I actually wanted to know if you wanted to try it on.
I mean, sure. A backpack? I'm definitely not going to be averse to that. Let's see. So what about the durability of these in comparison to that which we would know as the standard backpack?
Very durable, actually. We could actually print it in different materials. This one is actually PLA. TPU would be like a softer material, and then we also have ones that are like a puff material as well. Yes. And so it's something that's, even if after carnival, because we know that carnival can sometimes be a little bit wasteful and you might not wear that backpack again, you could melt it down and we could print it into another backpack for another event.
Okay, so this is something we're looking at that is also going to be cost effective.
Yes.
And possibly changing the face of the industry as we know it.
Yes, it is.
And this is the first of its kind in Trinidad and Tobago?
I believe so. I haven't seen any 3D printed anything outside of what I've been doing in Austin, Texas. That's where we're based. Boss Movement is based in Austin, Texas in the United States. I actually even have 3D printed shoes on today.
You know, I was picking your shoes when you came into the studio, and I was going to ask you afterwards, but 3D printed as well. So the options are limitless.
Yes.
Excellent. Now let's talk about your upcoming display. Should we say?
Yes, we're going to have a fashion show this weekend. It's going to be on Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Loft Gallery in Port of Spain. And I'm excited to see a lot of people there. We still have tickets on sale. You can get tickets from our website at bossmovement.org. And as soon as you get on there, you will see a button to go ahead and see what the fashion show is about, and you can purchase your tickets there.
Okay, so Akila, you've shared with us, of course, that which we're also familiar with, which is how we can incorporate this in fashion and carnival. But what about in everyday life? What else are we going to perhaps get peeks at your event?
We also have 3D printed clothing. So your regular clothing that you wear, you can design it on the computer, print it on a 3D printer, and then put it on. It's almost like instant gratification if you think about it. Instead of having to wait for someone to sew your clothes, you just go on the computer. It's called a computer-aided design software, CAD, and then you go on there and you draw up your design exactly how you'd like it to be, hit print, and you print your outfits and you wear it.
Oh my goodness gracious me, it's making me reconsider my sewing machine. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Akila, how did you get into fashion tech?
Well, I have my undergrad degree from Houston-Tillotson University in Austin, Texas, my master's at Prairie View A&M University in Texas as well. And while I was going to school, I'm a broke student. So I had some friends who were designers asked me to model for them. I got into the model industry there. Over COVID is actually when I started noticing that fashion is going to take a different turn, and we started seeing 3D animated clothing coming out. And so I started to dig into that myself. So there's augmented reality, but that is going to be where you can wear something similar like a filter. If you're familiar with filters, Snapchat, Meta.
Hold on, I can wear a filter.
Yes, it will be an
sit down
actual
for
outfit.
this. You should sit down for this too. So how are we wearing filters?
So the same thing we can do is go on the computers, and we are using different software to design the clothing itself. And then I'm going to load it up to the platform Snapchat itself. And then you can just stand in front of your phone just like how you'd see a regular filter, and it will take over your entire body, and you can have that clothing on. So you can see what clothes will look on you prior to even having the actual physical item.
And this is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And definitely something I know many women and of course men are also going to be interested in, changing the face of fashion as we know it. It's wonderful that you brought it to Trinidad and Tobago. What do you see as the future of fashion and tech?
You know what? I think it's a way to get way more engagement into anyone's brand, anyone's business. Because you want to just not just touch the persons here, we definitely want to make sure and touch persons locally, but you want to make sure that you can show the world what it is that you have. So putting something in an augmented reality space or in a game space where you can actually design clothes and put that same clothes, the clothes that you design in a game and have someone wear it in the game, have someone wear it as a filter, they would be able to engage with your brand and your outfit in a way that you probably would not have been able to reach someone in China or reach someone in Japan or in the US with your brand outside of doing it locally. So I think fashion tech is going to push us in a way that you would be able to carry your brand beyond your local reach.
This is absolutely incredible. I'm really looking forward to seeing the evolution of fashion and technology, and of course the evolution of things we enjoy, such as Carnival and just dressing up in general. So this is happening at the Loft Gallery in Port of Spain. If you could just kindly again share how we can get in contact with you.
You can get in contact with us via website, bossmovement.org. You can get us on Instagram, boss_movement. You could actually follow me on Instagram as well, _boss_model. And you can get all of the information there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Akilah. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Akilah Trinidad James here with us this morning talking about an upcoming event Saturday the 21st of September at the Loft Gallery in Port of Spain on fashion tech. Stay tuned. There's more coming up on the Now Morning Show after this break.